Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we are looking at the idea of mixed signals. So when we want to create a particular experience in our life and we are manifesting a relationship with a new person or a specific person, or even manifesting material things in our life like a house or a car or anything that we are desiring to create, when we experience mixed signals in our 3D reality, it's actually just a perception of having mixed signals within ourselves about actually creating this outcome. Now, when this happens and we are experiencing mixed signals from a specific person, for example, and we are noticing that they are showing up in a particular way that is not consistent, that is not maybe in the way that we desire them to be showing up, we are interpreting that as a mixed signal of how they are feeling about us. But the actual paradoxical way of this is actually the mixed signal is coming from within us, because we are allowing their actions to cause us to feel unsure of not only ourselves, but also to feel unsure that this outcome that we desire to create with this person is going to be the inevitable story for us. So this is why when we start looking into our 3D, and it can cause us to waver, because when we are allowing it to dictate to us how we feel inside about how things are unfolding for us, it only kind of perpetuates more in that way, because we allow it to be more powerful than what we know to be true within ourselves. Now, this happens as all, and even when we are so masterful at manifesting, there can be times when something takes a little bit of a process, and you look to yourself and you say, I thought that I was great at all this, and all of a sudden I'm getting this little bit of thing coming up, and this is just not what I wanted to create. But understand that the moment that we know that what we are saying to ourselves is actually not true, that we can create the inevitable outcome, we have to just come back into ourselves and ground ourselves in our security, in our confidence, and in who we are as this person. And when we actually come into the knowing that nothing really is actually outside of us, and anything that we experience in our reality is always coming from how we interpret it, really, our perception, and it is coming from the systems of beliefs that we have. And I know that when we experience mixed signals in our reality from different aspects, that it can be triggering. However, it is always an opportunity to understand that it can always change, because everything is changing constantly. The only reason why things may seem that they are not changing is because we allow ourselves to fall back into the past in those moments. So let's say, for example, we're manifesting a specific person and everything is going great, and then all of a sudden they're showing up inconsistently, or they're showing up in a way that is not what we desire. Or maybe we are manifesting a specific behavior for them to actually show up in, and none of it is actually happening. Or maybe then one day they're all giving us love, and then the next day then we don't see them, or all of these kind of inconsistent behaviors. The only way for them to actually change is not by expecting them to change, because it's nothing to do with them. It's actually just coming into ourselves and changing our whole perception about what is actually going on, changing our whole perception of what it is that we want in life as well, to changing our whole perception about who we are as a person, and what it is that we are going to allow and continue to allow into our reality. So when we come into ourselves and we know that anything that is causing mixed signals outside of us is actually just a mixed signal within us, we are connecting to a field of mixed signals, because we are allowing ourselves to fall into that old kind of familiar past in those moments, because we're thinking that this is how it is for us and that it's never going to change. Or we're thinking that, well, it was changing there for a minute and then all of a sudden it's not, but it is always changing. And if it feels like it is not changing, that is only because we're not being consistent with what it is that we want and who it is we believe ourselves to be. So inconsistency, from my own interpretation anyway, is really all coming down to us not being inconsistent with ourselves. So this means that when we're not being consistent with ourselves in how we believe ourselves to be, how we believe others show up for us, how we believe that everything unfolds for us. And this doesn't mean that we have to be positive 24/7 either, because sometimes things can pop up and it can cause you to get a reaction. It can trigger you, and this is it's life. When things pop up that are undesirable and we're human, we have a tendency then to react or get triggered, and these things are okay. It doesn't mean that you have to be always in a high vibe. It doesn't mean that you have to be a different person, and it doesn't mean that you have to even have great beliefs all of the time. It just means that you stay true to exactly what it is that you are creating. It's like when you know something is solidified in your life, for example, anything that is solidified in your life, what you believe to be true is always true to you, no matter what. So if somebody told me that the grass is purple, I wouldn't ever really believe in that, because I believe that the grass is green. And it doesn't matter if I'm positive about that, or it doesn't matter if I open my mind up and I say, oh, maybe that is true or whatever like that. I will never really truly believe that, because the surety within me is that the grass is green. So even when we are manifesting for a particular outcome, no matter what we are seeing outside of us, it's never about us changing outside. It's about coming within and saying to ourselves, well, what is it that's causing me to focus on mixed signals? If I am focusing on mixed signals in my reality, then there must be something within me that I am not being fully sure about within myself. I'm not being fully sure of, maybe I'm not even fully sure of the desire. Maybe I think on a surface level that this is what I want, but maybe deep down I know that it's actually not what I want, but I'm finding it hard to move forward because I don't want to let go of the past, because these are all kind of things to think about as well too. So I just thought I would touch on that. If you have any questions, you can comment down below and I will chat to you soon.